Welcome back into the workshop for Tuesday's Dave Diary update. And if you can bear with me with my croaky voice, we'll cover off what we're looking at right here. I've just cut 3 cuts of this board here, and I can say virtually no dust escaped whatsoever from the extraction system as it is constructed at the moment. Tiny little bit of dust might have been there from either that cut or pre-existing. There is a bit of chip there, but that's from a cut that I did with on PVC pipe, and PVC pipe, because the dust can go through inside the pipe, the extraction system can't reach it. So that's that. Very impressed with how efficient I'm very impressed with the difference that this system has made. And had you suggested the format that it's in currently with this big pipe, I wouldn't have believed that would have been the correct approach for this. I was convinced through ignorance and just historic inertia that high pressure, low volume type of vacuum shop vac system is the best for this situation. Why? Well, I've got no justification for it, but the historical inertia is I've always used either the bag that came with the saw or a shop vac, because that's what I had most of the times when it was needed. That fact alone, and what I've seen other people using, just reinforced the fact that these are the way to go. So, in my infinite wisdom, and I recovered this yesterday, that's why I specifically bought for this usage a twin motor vacuum cleaner, shop vac. It's a commercial industrial one, so it's pretty good. But when it's cobbled together with all the pipe work and the twin cyclonic separators there, it creates enough friction and resistance that the efficiency of the machine, which is good, is, I'm going to say, it's insufficient. Whether it's halved or not, I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised. And the amount of dust that it will draw in, where that little pink bit of masking tape is, where it should be drawing it in, was absolutely dismal. So I was on a hiding to nothing by using that. It was just out of sheer luck, I actually just put the pipe from my dust collector beside my saw when I made a cut, and I saw the dust, shoot up the pipe, and I thought, wasn't expecting that. Not the amount that it got sucked up. So I had to rethink about it, and now I've got again, I'm recounting it, but regurgitating it. But the old dust extractor is 25 years old. Fabric bags top and bottom. We know how good they aren't, but that was the quite a good standard back in the day when I bought it 25 years ago. I know it's that age, or at least, because on the motor it's got the stamp of manufacturing date 1999. So I know I can't have had it earlier than that. Fabric bags, in today's standard would be severely frowned upon, and in some commercial industrial shops that probably be illegal. That's what I've got, and I've been happy to use that on my saw and my thicknesser. And still will be, because that is the appropriate tool for a bench saw and the thicknesser. The sander and the router and the dimensioning router over behind me and the drop saw, the track saw, the appropriate machine for that is one of these, or even one of these. And this just happens to be a domestic vacuum cleaner. It can be picked up, carted over onto the workbench, in this case, plonked up there, hooked up to the track saw, and it does a fantastic job of extracting the dust. And or it can be on the dimensioning router. Don't get any dust coming off of that, so yay. And that's because the appropriate tool was that, or that. Now, this, as I was already said, I wouldn't have thought that the dust extractor was the appropriate tool for it, but it is really, really good. If you're still using a shop vac and getting good performance out of it, carry on. But what I'd be suggesting is, if you aren't getting good performance or sufficient performance, have a go at adapting your dust collector, if you've got one, your dust collector onto it, because the difference is night and day as far as I'm concerned. And as I said, was a bit of a surprise. Now, the CamVac, which I've seen used, which I was and am still a bit of a fanboy of, I think is the sweet spot. And even though they say it's still a low volume item, I can't believe that it truly is, but who am I to say that it is or isn't? The 4-inch, because it's very similar in format to this canister here, which once was a vacuum cleaner until I took the top off of it, the motor, because I was a wee bit concerned about the way it heats up, and I thought rather than burn the garage and workshop down, get rid of it, keep the canister for the chip collection. Fantastic. But the CamVac has got a 4-inch inlet or port, and to me, when you go to 4-inch, that's a high volume. So, but I don't know. Who am I? I'm just a lowly woodworker that can only use his eyes to look at something and make guesses. Nonetheless, the CamVac that I saw being used in this situation was really good. So much so that I was thinking, oh, there's a lot of suction there, because when I should be getting a commission, Dennis. Dennis from Hooked on Wood was showing his system, which is brilliant, by the way. I saw a little bit of an offcut flick round onto the slots that he had in his fence for where the dust would be extracted, and I'm thinking, oh, that must be quite a bit of suction there to be able to grab the offcut and flick it round and hold it up against the fence. I was going, big holes like this may allow a reasonable sized chunk to shoot in there and through, and well, it's going to hit the fan literally, because it's going to be sucked through the fan veins of this part before it gets into the bag. So I'm thinking, maybe, even though that the holes are apparently the most efficient way of getting a good stream of air, but maybe that might be a little bit short-sighted and I need to think about it. I don't want to make multiple holes, but my thoughts was, if I drill down right from the top right the way down, I can drop a nail down into this bit here, and the same through the side, effectively making like 4 quadrants or quarters of the hole, reducing the area of the ability for something just to flick and go through the system. The other side of it is, do I eventually upgrade this to a more modern equivalent? That's a 1-horse motor. Apparently they flow about 500 to 600 cubic feet a minute. CFM in the old language, the CFMs. The new one has a 2-horsepower motor and flows about 1200 CFM. So more suck, more airflow. And the one I'd look at, it has a cyclonic separator prior to the motor in the vane. So anything going in through that hole is going to be dropped out into the separator anyway. That's when I get to buy one, because the toss-up is, well, it's not really a toss-up. I've made my decision, should I ever expend money, between CamVac, which is like, I think, the sweet spot for dust extraction in a workshop, or a upgraded version of this, because they're exactly the same price, give or take. And I'm thinking, if this could be, like sorted with a CamVac, yay, because I've got the CamVac for other things and it's smaller and more portable and lots of pluses for it. Or, because this isn't really up to modern day standards, get rid of this and put something in that when I am using it, it is getting a better performance filter-wise, and because it's got a cyclonic separator, which this doesn't have, it's going to take care of those lumpy bits that occasionally get sucked up through the hose. And it's going to work on my miter saw. So I'm getting the better filtration anyway with this system that I'd be using. Yeah, CamVac can be used for your saw and your very bulky chip maker, the planer thicknesser, but it's not the ideal tool. This is, but the CamVac still is more than adequate for most people's workshop usage, from what I've been looking at and the comments made by that person, that Dennis fella from Hooked on Wood. And I agree with what he's saying, because obviously, to get the performance out of the CamVac, you have to have better filters. And that becomes an issue because they've got bags around the motors, which is always the issue with any vacuum cleaner. That's why I like this. It's bagless, and I can take it and clean out the filter that is in there. This gets bugger all dust through into the actual filter, which is a big heavy fabric bag, and most of it goes up there, and that fine dust separator there does a good job of getting the small stuff and the bigger stuff in there. So that one is not, it doesn't have a consumable. The the CamVac seems to have that consumable issue that I don't like. I just don't like having to rely on getting the bag, the appropriate bag. I just don't like it, and hence why bagless. It's non-consumable. It's, as I say, that's you can take it out and clean it. Doesn't much get in there. Not much gets in there. Use the English properly, mate. But the filter in there stays pretty darn clean. And, well, this is, it is old. And it does get a lot of dust in it. But it's not consumable. That's what I'm trying to get at. Nor would be the new one. It's got a pleated filter in it with, it goes around and you can, knock the dust off of it. You could call that consumable, but it's a more of a replaceable. If you have to replace it, that's about $370 just for that one filter. But you're not going to be replacing it very often, if at all. And it's one of those things that you have to think about and accept. So, long story short, very, very impressed with the change in using this, and it'll probably get used more because of it. I can do small cuts. The big thing is when you're trimming pieces of timber, or a bit of custom wood rather, and sometimes you just want to cut the edge off of it. It is notorious for causing dust, and something like this, major improvement. And it may even be, it's just as a guess here, that the base, hang on, let me get sorted. The base that I'm going to be putting out here, the equivalent of this, traps more of the air and dust coming off of the saw. So having effectively a zero tolerance, I'm not going to say an insert, but a bed may also be beneficial, and especially when you're doing those sorts of cuts, as I was saying, when you're just trimming something, a lot of the dust gets hooked by the saw and spat into the chamber underneath here, underneath the miter saw itself, and hopefully we've been able to get that dust sucked up from the back of it in the fence there. So just saying, spitballing on that one. Rightio, well that's it. Not a lot in this. I regurgitated virtually everything that I covered yesterday, but yeah, I was just made the cuts today, rearranged things, really started to understand better, not fully, but better, the need for CFMs in your workshop and what tools benefit from them. That one. I could directly connect that high pressure, low volume one and bypass all the filters and pipe work and connect it straight up to there, and I'm wondering whether I'd even get as much dust collection as I'm getting off of that. And of course I don't want to connect it straight up and bypass the chip separator and dust separator, so there's that. Whereas this is doing the job, doing a really good job of it. So okay, there you go. Happy camper, and one that doesn't have as much dust floating around the workshop. Still not particularly tidy, but yeah, you get that. Rightio, that's it. Might go have a cup of tea. How's that for an idea? Rightio, we'll see you in the next one now. Bye.